I'm Anthony Guardia with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Stoneham and Wakefield, and thank you for joining us today. It is September. It is the day after Labor Day. We are so excited to start the school year, and if you haven't heard, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Stoneham and Wakefield have some great news. We have promoted Joey D'Alessandro to our Director of Operations, and we are introducing Evan Reppert to Wakefield, who is now the director of the Wakefield Club. But it is my honor, and it really is my honor, even though I'm going to make fun of both of you, and I'm sure you'll both make fun of me in the next half hour, to have you both here. You've done some incredible work with our kids, and we're going to start with Joey. Joey, you are now the Director of Operations. Now, people in Wakefield already know you. You started as the teen director. You started as a club kid. Yeah. Became part-time staff, full-time staff, majored in social work, teen director, club director, now the Director of Operations. How do you feel, and what are you thinking about your new role?
I mean, it's a dream come true. It's one of those things that I, have aspired to reach, since I started. Coming to the club as a kid, 8-year-old kid, seeing Donna run the place with 3 staff members and 400 kids by herself, and as the program kind of evolves over time, and coming back and working as a teen director and kind of working my way up, it's something I've always had my eyes set on. It's a dream come true. It's fantastic. I work with a great group of people. That always makes things better. Who's my favorite?
Yeah, who's your favorite person to work with?
It's definitely not the person who insults me every time I see them.
What? How do you know? All right.
No, I mean, again, to be serious, it's a great group of people, and I think that when you enjoy the people that you work with, the kids in the community that you work with, it's not work. You can come in, you have the ability to make a real difference, and it's a lot of fun.
No, it's true. Well said. And Joey, I don't mean, I think most of the time it's going to be on Evan, only because, you've spoken at our gala. People have seen your testimonial. We've done shows like this before. But Evan, you're brand new to Wakefield. A little bit about you was before here you were in Stoneham, but I won't steal all the thunder. I can talk a lot. Can you tell, parents in Wakefield, caregivers in Wakefield, kids in Wakefield, basically anybody in Wakefield who watches a little bit about yourself and what brings you to the Boys and Girls Clubs?
Absolutely. Well, building people up and helping them be empowered to be the best they can be has been something that I've been doing for a long time. I started my first job doing leadership training when I was 14, working with a Boy Scout camp, and have been doing different types of adventure programming, outdoor education, and experiential education since then. I have my degree from Gordon College in Recreation, Sports, and Wellness with a focus in outdoor ed. I've worked as an outdoor guide, I've worked as a canoe guide, I've worked as a whitewater raft guide. A lot of fun and exciting experiences that have all kind of led to this. I'm super excited now to be in the position where I can help lead an awesome team of staff and make sure that we are giving the kids of Wakefield the most opportunities that they have to explore, grow, learn, and figure out who they are. Middle school is such an exciting time of figuring out who you are, figuring out what you're about and what you're into, and I'm just super excited to be a part of this awesome team. It's been great working with the Boys and Girls Club in Stoneham for the last year, and getting to know Joey's team has been fantastic. I'm super excited to be a part of that team and to be able to lead them on to further success.
That's true, you're walking, or you're filling really, really big shoes. What?
There's like 13s?
Yeah, I mean, that's a compliment. Really big shoes, but we do think you're up to the task, and one of the reasons is, I gotta say, one of the organizations that's very important to Wakefield, it's very important to us, we work with them very closely, and our cameraman, Brian's worked with them as well. Before here, you were at Communitas. Can you describe what you did at Communitas? Because that's a beloved organization as well.
Absolutely. I loved my time at Communitas. I worked as a classroom instructor for a classroom at their day hab. I was working mostly with an integrated group, so I had about 18 people coming through my classroom on a weekly basis, and they would all work jobs in the community. I would help them work on job skills, work on social emotional skills, and a lot of things that just try to help build up the community. I think that's been one of my big vocational goals the whole way through every job that I've had, is how can the work that I do strengthen the community that I'm a part of. That was huge at Communitas, and that's once again huge here.
And for people who don't know, Communitas is an incredible nonprofit that works with the disabled community, disabled adults, to help them get a variety of skills, from job training to vocational training, which is actually arguably the same thing, to just interpersonal skills. And we actually work with them at our Boys and Girls Clubs. They provide a variety of jobs. We pay them to do everything from janitorial work to administrative work, and we've been very happy with the partnership for a few years now. So Evan, and I promise Joey will get back to you. Joey unlike me, Joey wants the attention all on him.
Always.
I'm humble. I'm known for my humility, unlike Joey. No, I'm teasing, but Evan, so you went to the Stoneham Club, and what I'll tell you as somebody who's on the administrative section, what Joey does really well, and I mean this sincerely, and why I think you're just such a good fit, is Joey's very good, even though you're managing a big group of kids, of having those one-on-one connections with kids, of getting to know a child one-on-one, and getting to realize what makes them work, what makes them click, how to have them grow into successful adults. So what kind of programming can parents in Wakefield look forward to, and how are you going to build out that model with great programming, but also having those one-on-one connections?
Well, we're going to be building off of what's already been there and the great framework that Joey's given us. He has an awesome staff that is really able to engage the kids in a lot of really fun activities like different sports. There's some art programs. We have a cool video game setup. And this year we've expanded that e-gaming setup. We're going to be launching a whole e-gaming program where kids can join a team. They have to learn skills and learn how to work together, learning communication skills, learning strategy, and really figuring out how to make gaming something that's more than just a fun, social thing that just kind of helps them clear their mind to something that's actually going to give them skills that are applicable in the real world. We're also launching a whole lot of outdoor ed programs. So we're going to be doing some hiking. We're going to be doing some biking. We're partnering with Central Rock Gym in Stoneham to do some rock climbing. We're partnering with Ferncroft Golf in Middleton, and the kids are going to be able to have the opportunity to do some golf lessons. So there's a whole lot of new programs that we're trying to launch and that we're super excited to offer the kids. My goal is that the kids who come through our doors are able to find a new skill or a new passion that they're able to carry with them for the rest of their life. It's so important as we grow, beyond being youth into adulthood, that we have constructive skills that we can continue to play into for the rest of our life. They help give us meaning, they help us find friends, and they really just help strengthen our mental health and let us feel good about ourselves. And if we can get kids plugged in with stuff now that they're going to be able to do for the rest of their life, that's going to help build them up stronger. And I'm really excited to offer that to the kids here at Wakefield.
No, that's wonderful. I love how you describe the programming to the personal connections, because I think people get excited and they donate because you hear e-gaming center and you're like, that's really amazing. But the whole point of it, as you described, is to create that one-on-one connection, because if that kid who's a gamer connects with that adult mentor, every study has shown everything, every model, every program, every government-funded, university-funded study shows that it is that adult connection that leads to better outcomes. Which brings me to my question for Joey. Joey, you do have, I remember, we posted on Facebook about this promotion, and we had so many people commenting and replying, and how many people loved you. People are saying, oh, I saw Joey and my kids had to get out the window screaming. There are staff members now who owe their careers to you, like you talk about Donna. How are you going to try to maintain those connections while you move into this bigger role, managing multiple sites and managing multiple clubs, and so on?
I mean, first and foremost, obviously the relationships is, aside from safety and all that stuff, the relationships we build with our kids and our staff is what makes our organization special. And I firmly believe that's what separates us from the pack. We were going back a couple months ago, right before summer camp, we were looking to hire a number 2 for Wakefield. And we had a number of different interviews, and we had some great candidates, but we were trying to figure out what would work best in terms of trying to get someone in who would not necessarily fit resume-wise, experience-wise, but someone that just had it, that could not only blend in with our staff, but also come in and connect with kids right away and, kind of provide a unique opportunity, maybe something that they have seen before, haven't seen before, but also feel familiar in the same rate. And so I requested permission to talk to Evan about some of his experiences and stuff, because I think Evan is great within the workplace, not only with staff, but with kids. And I came out of that conversation going to my supervisor and saying, we don't need a number 2 in Wakefield, we need him in Wakefield. And lo and behold, we were obviously able to make that happen, come a couple months later. I have confidence not only in him, but the staff to not only continue what they've done, but also build upon that. And I feel confident enough to even just be able to stroll back in and just, kind of continue the relationships I've already built, piggyback off some of the new programming and some of the old programming that he's going to have up and running, and kind of, work with some of the new kids, work with some of the older kids, and kind of, pick up where we left off. I'm really excited for the cool opportunities that we have coming up within the Wakefield program. But with that being said, lots of growth coming for me too, right? So, I'm not going to be at one site. I'll be, hovering over multiple different sites and dealing with, the licensed child care programming a lot, and some drop-in programming. But, with, all the licensing stuff, it's going to be a challenge for me, and I'm excited. I think my time in Wakefield has really poised me for that opportunity within licensed programming, because I hadn't really, dabbled in it much before then. But, it's a great team there, and it's nothing but learning and progressing, so I'm excited.
No, absolutely, and everybody at the clubs is excited. And Evan, to that point, I know Sammy, she's wonderful. She'll still be in Stoneham as the director there. We have Danielle in Stoneham as well. You're leaving a good team. I mean, we're still one organization, but this is also going to be aired on social media. I'm sure there'll be kids and families in Stoneham who see it. How are you going to be able to maintain those relationships? Because those kids, I remember reading like, oh, we're happy for Evan, but we're kind of sad that he's not going to be at the Stoneham Club every day. How do you maintain those relationships? You promise you'll visit and make sure you say hi as much as you can?
Absolutely. I fully plan on not abandoning the kids of Stoneham. I built so many meaningful relationships there, and I look forward to seeing those kids often. Luckily, with a lot of the new adventure programming that we're rolling out, we're able to do that in tandem with our Stoneham Drop-In Club. So a lot of times we'll have some vans meet up to do the hikes together. We'll be leaving our biking out of the Stoneham Club. So we'll be taking kids from our club here in Wakefield over to Stoneham to do some biking on the Greenway. I'll still be able to make sure that I am making those connections and maintaining those connections with the kids there. We want to see our whole organization grow in unity, and that's been one of the tasks that I've been charged with, is to bring more unity between our Stoneham and our Wakefield Club. We both have such strong communities here, and I always think that we're better together than we are apart. So if we can really build on strengthening that unity and coming together and saying, hey, we can do more for these kids when we work together, then let's try to do that, and let's try to help them build more friendships and more connections and more relationships.
No, absolutely. And one thing that brings all of them together is me. So just make sure like it's
ragu sauce.
It's and pasta night. No, I mean, we can tell that story,
no,
but
we don't have to, because it's not true.
So, well, it is. And Joey did launch a variety of programs. For people who don't know, Joey launched Pasta Night, which was our first food program in many, many years. But as an Italian, Evan, just so you know, he used ragu sauce. He didn't use. I mean, listen, I fundraise, all right? That's all I do. I raise money for our clubs. And I know that I raise enough for us to use at least pastine, all right? None of this ragu stuff. What are we doing? So now that I'm completely off track and lost my train of thought,
Yeah.
I do want to go back, though, to one of the points you hit earlier, because recently, I was talking to a parent who said, we call it a teen center, but we focus on middle schoolers, which is a little bit preteen to teen. And I wanted to explain, and then maybe you guys can elaborate on it, is the reason we focus on that population is similar when I spoke earlier about all the studies is, by the time a child gets to 9th or 10th grade, there's a lot of more work that needs to be done if they're on the wrong track, right? So, Dr. Mullen, who was a principal here at the Galvin for many years, she used to say, well, you can lose them in middle school. And the idea is that is such an impressionable age that we want to get to them then. Doesn't mean we won't try our best and we can't still get to them in 9th and 10th, 11th, 12th grade. But the fact of the matter is we really try to focus our programming on that cohort of 5th to 8th graders, those early teen and preteen years, because that is the years that can really, really change somebody's life for better or for worse, and really set them on a trajectory that can be very positive or very negative. So can either one of you talk about why those years are so important, and how our programming focuses on that age group?
Yeah, I mean, every big league club has a farm system, right? In some way, shape, or form. I think that, while you can focus on retention if you want to, or trying to figure out what it is that will keep kids around and things like that, but again, what separates our organization from others is going to be those relationships that we build in separating ourselves from the rest. If you can get to a kid in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and they meet a staff mentor or some other friends or whatever have you within the club walls, and make that a special place, and that will teach them valuable life skills, job skills, teaching them all different types of athletic stuff, and the list goes on and on. If you can reach those kids at a young age, you'll have them in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, but then moving on into high school, you'll be a valuable resource for them when they're going through that very crucial time in life, right? Because, I mean, in high school, 9th grade, no matter if you're on the wrong track, the right track, the gold track, the ragu track, you're looking for something to grasp onto, in trying to pave your own way and find your place. The club, personal experience, did that for me. And I think, just trying to focus on, forming these relationships with the kids and giving them something meaningful within our clubs to latch onto and hopefully guide them in the right direction.
I think building off of that, giving the kids the ability to say, I can do this, and helping them find what it is that they can do, how it is that they can connect with their community on a larger scale, how they can connect with themselves on a more interpersonal scale, and giving them the space to say, hey, if you make a mistake here, it's not the end of the world. We're a gracious group, and we're a group that wants to see all of our kids succeed. So if we can give them a safe place to try, fail, and try again, that's really success in my book.
Yeah. No, and I will tell you, to build on that, that's sort of why we built that our first-time jobs programming, which we call the street team, because it was a way to continue that track for kids who, as they get to 10th, 11th grade, as they get a car, as they have more freedoms and they start looking for jobs, it's can we have a jobs program where they come in and we can teach them how to interview, how to write a resume, how to be somewhere on time, how to make sure they have valuable, skills, and and again, the street team really does a bunch of events. You'll see them at the farmers markets. You'll see them. They were most recently at the summer stroll at Market Street. We have a few events in September, and we recently, if you saw in the papers, we got the funding from Congressman Moulton's office for more teen jobs. And the idea is, if we can get these kids to work, because again, it keeps that connection to our clubs. So, if we kept them on the right track to 11th grade and then they've run into some family tragedy, which we've seen happen, they're still connected to our club, so our staff can reach out and make sure, they continue on the path. Because these are very, very vulnerable ages, and a lot of our kids, we've seen it, all three of us have seen it. We're in the suburbs, right? So, the difference between us, and I was just having this conversation with a donor, and maybe somebody who goes to a different club, is the poverty is hidden, right? You don't see it. And there's a shame for asking for help. So sometimes we're dealing with families in very sensitive, dealing with very, very sensitive information, and very hard times. And Joey, under your time at the Wakefield Club, and now Evan, your time, I mean, and thanks to the Savings Bank, which helped fund it, we started a program where we work with homeless youth who come to Wakefield and are in Wakefield and working at the Wakefield Club. And people don't think about it. You don't think about homelessness in Wakefield. You don't think about hunger in Wakefield on the pasta nights. And we make sure we get to those kids and we make sure that they're involved in our programming. And to that end, as I'm thinking more and more about pasta night, I do have to realize as a fundraiser, if Ragu ever does want to sponsor our events, I will change my tone completely. I will eat Ragu every night. So on that note, I know we're within, I think we have about 8 minutes left. Joey, Evan, Joey, I'll start with you. Are there any things you want to reflect on in your time in Wakefield, and anything you want to say to the community as you move on? Anybody specifically you want to thank? Any person you owe, your physique?
I would like to thank Anthony Guardia for everything that I have
thank you.
in every way, shape, and form.
I'm going to edit this to make sure.
We get that out of the way first and foremost. But in all seriousness, taking the jokes completely aside, I just want to say thank you. Wakefield is such a passionate community. It's a tight-knit community where, everyone bands together, whether it's for a pasta night or, something up by the lake with whether it's community boating or, something that we're doing up there, getting the kids ready for some of our travel games or, anything that you can think of. It's such a tight-knit, close, passionate group of people. And it's been a pleasure to work within the town of Wakefield. I've had fun. Not over only the last 2.5 years, but just being involved with the Wakefield Club in general. I think that it's reached heights, and it's time for obviously a new wave to come in, and I couldn't be happier, more thrilled with the people coming in to lead that next wave. So I'm just happy to be able to be a part of it and be here and provide support in any way I can.
Now, and Evan, anything you'd like to say as we start this new adventure, and open invitation to anybody from Wakefield to contact you or check it out. Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. So when I was able to give my little introductory speech to the kids at Camp Wakefield a few weeks ago, I told them that I am all about having fun, and in order to have fun, we need to be kind to each other. And from what I've seen so far in working with the Wakefield community, it sounds like I'm going to have so much support on the kindness train, from the folks at Wake Up to the folks at the food pantry, over to the Albion Center. Everybody has been so welcoming and so kind, so excited to help us get connected. And I know that with a community that's backing us like this, I think we're going to be able to achieve fantastic things here. And really just launch into this next era with confidence, with excitement. And I'm super excited to hit the ground running. When those kids come through the door, it's game time, and I'm ready to play.
No, it's well said. And on that note, I think we can even speak for where we're here. WCAT does this as a service for us. This is all donating. They're donating their time, their equipment, their talents to put this on. So we thank WCAT. Fun trivia fact. Evan, as you're from Wakefield, Ryan Boyd, he's the executive director of the club, the executive director of WCAT. Me and him share the same exact birthday, same day, same year. Now people always assume he's older for obvious reasons when you see him, but we have the same exact age and same birthday. So I will say, all joking aside, in all seriousness, Wakefield is lucky to have both of you. Stoneham's lucky to have Sammy, Danielle, and Erica. The clubs are just excited, and our kids are very, very, very fortunate to have you involved. Again, I work with donors. I'd like to think of myself as a steward of their donations. Anybody who's donating to the clubs can rest assured that their money is being put to good use with leaders like you. So with that said, it's fall. One other trivia thing that I will say for you, Evan, Joey and I do have, other than our Italianness and good luck, we have one other thing in common. We both love Christmas. We love the holidays.
Yes.
And I was just talking to a few friends, and Joey, Do we want to confirm? I heard that there's going to be a sleigh in Wakefield, and I heard that there's going to be some. Do we want to make it official and confirm that to Wakefield?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost a given. Where now for the last year, a certain someone came down, visited the Wakefield Club, and paraded his way down Main Street. I'm glad to have Evan here this year to have him part of that as well. It's a big to-do, and it's, I think, one of the only people that I can think of that's more important in Wakefield than Anthony Guardia.
Santa is, he's going to be here. And
Santa sleigh coming up soon.
Yeah, it is. I can't believe it's already,
calendars.
It's the bird month.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, thank you to WCAT. Thank you, Evan, Joey. We appreciate this, and looking forward to a great year.
Thank you,
Thank
Anthony.
you.